everybody joining us, you will be able to join us, and you will be able to understand. So first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody, and I think it is a historical point in our synagogue because at least from the time that I'm the cantor here, maybe 36, 37 years, we have never done it. And it's amazing that we never did. I mean, this is the only tractate of the Mishnah that is in our prayer book. We don't have any, there are 63 tractates, 63 from the Mishnah. And Pirkei-Avot is one of them, okay? So there has to be a reason why it was picked up to be as part of our prayer book. So that's one thing that we would like to find out today. And the other thing is, in Hebrew we call it Pirkei-Avot. What does Pirkei-Avot means? It's a chapter of our fathers. I mean, if you literally translate it. But we don't know it as Pirkei-Avot, right? We know it as, it would be nice to hear a reaction, but I guess we will not be able to have. So in English, we say ethics of the fathers, yes? Not Pirkei-Avot, but ethics of the father. And okay, I see the rabbi is there.
It's the rabbi.
That's
So,
strange.
anything
You
strange?
don't have to say.
I'll be here.
It's up to you.
Okay, so first, so we would like to understand also why it was translated to ethics of the father instead of chapters of Avot, and why originally it was called Avot, simply Avot, and why not anything else. Also, would like to place it in terms of historically, chronologically, at what period of time we are talking about when we are talking about Pirkei-Avot, and from what period until what period. Okay, we are going to start off later with the fact that Moshe Kibel Torah Sinai, Moshe received the Torah from Sinai, and then he passed it on to Yoshua, Umsara Yoshua, and then Yoshua passed it on to the elders, to the Zkenim, and the elders to the prophets, to the Nevi'im, and then the prophets, they passed it on to the Anshe Knesset Agdolah, the great assembly. Okay? That was the end of the chain. Very good. Yeah. Then, after that, it says they were saying whatever, three things. And the second verse, it starts with Shimon HaTzadik haya mishyarei Knesset Agdolah. Shimon the righteous, he was Mishyarei Knesset Agdolah. I mean, I don't know how to translate it, so it doesn't sound. Shiara is leftovers. Actually, they.
One of the last.
Yeah, when the rabbis, they have a tish on a Friday night and they eat their dinner. He passes along sharing, and everybody, all the Hasidim, they would like to get their hand on a piece of the leftover from the Rebbe. They can fight over it. So here, Rabbi Shimon, he was left over from that period of time. So it was almost like at the end of that period, but he is starting off this period of the Pirkei-Avot that, according to how I read it, it started off about 200 CE, 200 before the Common Era, and it went all the way to about 200 after the Common Era. So we're talking almost about 400 years. Okay. Now, Pirkei-Avot, it's actually, I think it's the only tractate of the Mishnah that does not have a Gemara. Okay, Rabbi, yeah, that's it. I mean,
What do you need?
Because
You good?
I liked your reaction all the time because I need some reaction.
Got it. Okay. I'm eating dinner, but I'll give reactions every once in a while.
But yeah, but I'm talking about to see if whatever it is that I'm saying goes through.
You're right on track.
Okay, so the book, this Ethics of the Father, or Pirkei-Avot, he is a chapter, one of the tractates of the Mishnah, but he doesn't have a corresponding Gemara. The Gemara normally is an explanation of the Mishnah. We have to understand how it is. We have the 5 books of Moses. Then after that we have the Nevi'im, and then we have the Ketuvim. You know the name of the Bible. What is the name of the Bible, Rabbi?
The Tanakh or the Hebrew Bible.
Yeah. Sandy, what about if you open your? I just want to see if we don't have any interruption. That I would like to have some more people. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I just opened it.
Good. So Tanakh.
But my house
Yeah,
is
it's
pretty noisy.
Yeah, right. No. So Tanakh is an acronym, right? Acronym for Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim. Okay.
Right.
So these are, and then the Mishnah comes after, and they explain. It's an explanation of the Tanakh, but mostly explanation of the Torah, of the 5 books of Moses. Later on, after the Mishnah, which is somewhere around, it was, the Mishnah was compiled and sealed by Rabbi Yehuda Nasi around 200 to the Common Era. And after that, like from 200 until about 500, we have the Amorites, the Amoraim. And the Amoraim were the one to explain the Mishnah and give us a perspective of what the Mishnah was talking about. But basically, the Amoraim is a commentary, but it's a commentary on the Mishnah. And after the Gemara, then we have Rishonim and we have Achronim, and until these very days. Rishonim are the first, and then the last, and it goes all the way to these people. Everybody who is writing today any kind of a commentary on either the Mishnah, the Gemara, the Tanakh, all of these commentators are part of what is called Torah Shebe'al Peh. Okay? We have Torah Shebichtav, and so that's the 5 books of Moses. Still, Rabbi, you are there. I'm sorry to.
Yep, I'm here. I'm here.
So Torah Shebichtav, the 5 books of Moses, and then you have the whole.
Hold on. The Torah Shebichtav also includes Nevi'im Uktuvim, which is pretty much 40 books, although it's counted as like 26 or something because some of them are combined, like the 10 last.
I think exactly we have 35 books altogether.
Yeah.
And as an accountant, I made sure that I am accounting these 5 books of the Torah, and then you have another 19 books in the Nevi'im, and then 11 books in the Ketuvim. Yeah.
Right. Part of the question becomes, do you count, for example, Samuel 1 and Samuel 2, or Kings
No.
1 and Kings 2?
Right. I mean,
You count them separately or as one book?
Yeah, 35. It's does not include Samuel 1 and Samuel 2, and also there is a it's called Tre Asar. That sometimes they are included as 12 minor prophets, Tre Asar. The same thing that we are putting in the same group in the from the Ketuvim. There is 5 Megillot, 5 scrolls that are part of the scriptures of the Tuvim. The Pirkei-Avot, it's taken out from a tractate that's called Nezikin. Nezikin is simply damages. It talks a lot about damages, injuring, stealing, and it's almost from the 4th chapter of Nezikin, and so that's the whole order of the Mishnah, and then they bring it all the way down to us here in the prayer book, and they are telling us that then they give the chronological order that Moses received it and so on and so forth. And the question is, why did they do that? I mean, the chronological order that Moses received the Torah from Sinai and so forth should have been right at the beginning. The Gemara or the Mishnah starts with a Masechet, a tractate of Berachot. Now somebody is making too much noise. I think it's the first tractate of the Mishnah is Berachot, okay, which is talks all about the blessings. What kind of blessings you do for what kind of mitzvahs and so on. So that's where actually this paragraph that starts the Pirkei-Avot should be that Moshe kibel Torah miSinai and Saral Yoshua, but it's not there, it's here. Okay. So let's see, I'm just trying to talk about, in general. So to understand the reason, first of all, why it's called Avot. The word Avot in Hebrew, we know there is Shlosha Avot, three patriarch, and also if you will go later on, you'll see that there is Hamisha Chomshei Torah, 5 books of Moses, and Shisha Sidrei Mishnah, the 6 books of the Mishnah, the 6 orders of the Mishnah. So the word Avot, meaning matriarch, but Avot, patriarch, but Avot also means like foundations, okay? The main foundation of the whole Torah. And the book of Pirkei-Avot, the fundamental and the principal categories of the patriarch have been passed on to us, and that's a reason why we are studying them. Now you have, besides Avot, ethics of the father, you have other Avot, like Avot Melacha, and then there is Avot Tum'ah. Avot Melacha is the principles of the Melacha, like you have on Shabbat. There is 39 Avot Melacha that you are not allowed to do, and then also there is Avot Tum'ah, the impurities, and so both of these understanding of fathers as our matriarch, not only our matriarch, but all the personalities that came from the Torah on. They are all the foundations on which the Pirkei-Avot is based. Okay? Pirkei-Avot, now to get to the meaning of, in English, ethics of the father, all the books in the Mishnah, all the tractates in the Mishnah and the Gemara, they are all talking about laws, about certain laws. Okay, there is six orders, and the first order is the Ra'im, which talks about agricultural laws, and later on there is Moadim, which is the laws of Shabbat and holidays, and then there is the law, the order of Nashim about marriage and divorces, and then Zikim, as we mentioned before, about damages and injuring and stealing, Kodashim about holy things and mostly sacrifices, and then Toharot, purities and all other areas of Jewish
family law. Yeah.
Okay. So where was I? Anybody can put me
Number
back?
3.
Number 3. What is number 3 in Ezekiel? What?
No, the third verse in Pirkei-Avot. You started the second one, Shemina Tzadakah.
Oh no, we didn't get there.
Yeah.
We are not there yet. We're still talking about Torah shebichtav and Torah shebe'al peh, and so the ethics that actually are written in the Pirkei-Avot, they are said in the name of certain rabbis, but these rabbis themselves, they heard it from somewhere. They are saying what has been passed along as a oral law from the time of the Sinai until the time that the Pirkei-Avot was written. Okay, I mean, it's important to understand that when Moshe received the Torah from Sinai, together with the Torah shebichtav, together with the written Torah, he received the oral Torah, the Torah shebe'al peh. Okay, and not only that, I mean, some they go as far as saying everything that was written up after, from the time of Sinai until this day, everything was passed on from God to Moses. Okay, and we are going.
Robert, can you take over projecting? I need to go do something.
Yes, if we need to, I will. No problem.
All right, I'm gonna take it off. Thank you.
All right. So let's see. I just want to see if everybody is in one page here. One page. So just do like this. If you do like that, I know. Yeah, one. I see. No, you don't. Oh, Greenwald, Ruth, you don't.
Page 257.
We have. I have it in the Sidur.
Right. We are still not talking about the Sidur. We didn't get to that part. I mean, I touched on it, but we are still talking about an introduction.
Okay.
Where do we place the ethics of the father chronologically in time? So we said, first of all, mostly it was 200 BCE to 200 CE. So it was about 400 years. But we also say that what the rabbis wrote in those periods of time, that they came from previous generations. they came all the way from the time of Moses at Sinai, okay? And some people will probably ask themselves, I mean, such a volume, we're talking about probably millions and millions of books. And they say everything came directly from Sinai. Well, that's another question. I think I talked one time a little bit about Kabbalistic point of view, and what we see in seconds. I mean, what Moshe, he received in a short period of time. We cannot, in our lifetime, we cannot get that. So the names of the rabbis who write these quotes and the whole Mishnah, they are called Tanaim, okay, as opposed to the Amoraim. Now, the structure of the Mishnah, of this Pirkei-Avot, we have five chapters, and then later on an additional chapter was added. And we'll understand why. The five chapters, the first two chapters are chronologically. That's rabbis who come, like I said here, Shimon HaTzadik, Shimon the righteous, he was the first one among the rabbis here, and he was the last one from the Great Assembly. So from Shimon HaTzadik, the first two chapters, every rabbi who is mentioned here, he comes in chronological time. Later on, the following two chapters, they are taking sayings of other rabbis, but they are not in any chronological order. They are in from different times. The last chapter, they are not even talking about particular rabbis, okay? They don't come with a name. It's a sayings, and it's coming from unknown sources. The last four, they are coming from they go back to the original. So these are the five books that are Pirkei-Avot. Then there is a sixth chapter that comes out from another tractate altogether from Sanhedrin, and they added to Pirkei-Avot. And there is like two reasons. The time that we are reading Pirkei-Avot normally, and why it is in our prayer book, because it's done on every Shabbat from Passover to Shavuot, okay? From Passover to Shavuot, there is exactly 6 weeks. 6 weeks. We want to learn every week one chapter. So in order to make sure that we have another chapter that we are going to study, they added another, the 6th chapter, and it comes exactly before the holiday of Shavuot. And the 6th chapter, it's not talking about ethics or morals, but it talks about Torah in general, the study of Torah. And because it is exactly before Shavuot, it makes sense to combine this chapter together with the 5 chapters of the original Pirkei-Avot. Okay, is this clear so far? Yes? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So in general, the ethics that that we are studying in the Pirkei-Avot, it's like to show kindness to one another, to respect other person's right, to strive for greatness, to respect God, to seek peace, to be humble, to combine Torah learning together with labor, be careful with your speech, and do not seek rewards, and do not leap to judge other people. Be fair and deliberate in legal decisions together, and be patient, and the punishment should always match the sin. Okay, it's a lot of subjects, but nothing about the law. Okay, nothing about the law. This are not mitzvot of do and not do, but it's general. Now, why is it that we are reading it before Shavuot, the holiday of Matan Torah? I wish I could get like some answers, but why we are reading it before Matan Torah? To tell us, okay, that Derech Eretz Kadma LeTorah. And what is Derech Eretz in English? Derech Eretz. Anybody? Derech Eretz Kadma LeTorah. It's like being a kind person with a good character precedes the Torah. Okay? So before we receive the Torah, it tells us that it is more important that we do the right thing, be mensch. That's more important than the laws of the Torah. And studying the ethics of the Father, what it does, it prepares us to the receiving of the Torah. It cleanses us before accepting the Torah. It's the same thing that if a person is going to meet the king, before he gets to see the king, he has to go through certain steps and to clean himself, to cleanse himself up, and then he gets to the king. All right, it's already 7:30, and so this was a general introduction. Next time we are going to start, there is a paragraph in the Ethics of the Father that starts before the chapter. That's another introduction. It says, all Israel have a portion in the world to come. You see that? All Israel has a portion in the world to come, as it is written, your people shall be righteous, they shall possess the land forever. They are a shoot of my planning, the work of my hands, in whom I shall be glorified. This one verse by itself alone, it will probably take maybe most or all of the next time that we are going to meet. Okay, so that's it for today. I mean, when I started this, I had no idea really how long it's going to be, where do we start, and that's why it's good that we don't say, okay, we are going to do one chapter every time. There is no way that we can do a chapter, even when they are studying in the synagogues. They are studying one chapter, but it's at least about 2 hours. Now we have to understand that they repeat it few times because they study the Pirkei-Avot between Passover and Shavuot, and then they start it again all throughout the summer season until Rosh Hashanah. So you repeat it at least 3 times. So people, they are quite knowledgeable when it comes to Pirkei-Avot, and so they don't need, they can do it. And normally it's a lesson of about 1.5 hours, 2 hours for each chapter. Okay, so we're going to go now to the Maariv service. Okay, we already